Why you shouldn't wait to register your podcast title as a trademark. Have you ever imagined waking up one day to find out that the podcast title you've poured your heart and soul into for years is suddenly at the center of what could be a legal battle? That's right, your unique podcast title, the one your listeners know and love, could be under threat from someone you've never even met. I'm Gordon Firemark, the podcast lawyer, and in today's episode of Legit Podcast Pro, we're diving deep into the world of trademarks. We'll explore why waiting to register your title could be one of the biggest mistakes you're making right now. From the risks of legal battles to the undeniable benefits of securing your brand identity early, we've got you covered. So if you want to protect your podcast legacy and ensure its future, stick around. All right, hey there, welcome to Legit Podcast Pro, your go-to source for all things legal and business in the world of podcasting. I'm Gordon Firemark, the podcast lawyer, and I am here to help you, the creator, to amplify your voice, achieve maximum impact, influence others in a positive way, and yes, earn income with your podcasting. With new episodes every Thursday, I'm here to help over 10,000 podcasters, that's my goal, to navigate through the legalities and business strategies that podcasting brings. Today, we're diving deep into this crucial topic for any podcaster at any stage of their journey: why waiting to register your podcast title as a trademark could be a risky move. Buckle up. This is going to be both enlightening and essential. All right. So let's kick things off by getting to grips with the concept of trademark. What is a trademark anyway? Well, think of it as a protective bubble around the name of your podcast. It's your brand's badge of identity, distinguishing your voice and content in the bustling podcast market from all the others out there. When you trademark your podcast title, you are essentially saying, "This is mine and only I have the right to use this title in this context." Now, you might wonder, why is this so important? Well, with a few million podcasts out there, it isn't just about having great content anymore. It's also about protecting that unique brand identity, your podcast title. So let's break down what makes a trademark such a powerhouse for your podcaster. But before we dive deeper, I want to let you know, I want to hear from you. So if you've ever considered trademarking your podcast, drop me a message or a comment on the social platforms and let's get the conversation going. If you've decided not to, I'd love to know about that as well. And especially why, because sometimes I might have something to say about that. All right. Well, listen, what is a trademark? A trademark is a distinctive word or mark or symbol or phrase that is used to identify the source of goods in the flow of commerce and to distinguish or separate them from other goods and services in commerce. So your title being distinctive makes it clear to the listener that what they're getting when they click on that title is you and your show, not some other show masquerading as yours or covering the same topic but maybe not doing it as well, and so on. So, all right, first let's talk about why delaying registration might not be such a very good idea. So, look, the risks are many. Now, you might think, well, I'll get around to the registration eventually, but let me just share a quick story about this that might just change your mind. I have a client, a podcaster. I'm not going to name names, but he was a pioneer in his niche. He has accolades and awards lining his studio walls, a loyal listener base tuning in for 13 years or so. His podcast title, very unique, catchy, unmistakably his. It has this sort of key buzzword in it that was very clear, and it has a sort of triple entendre meaning, which is, pretty hard to do. So, or at least he thought so. Well, along comes the new podcaster, eager and unaware, and they try to register a strikingly similar title for their yet to launch show. So my client hasn't yet filed a registration. He's let it go. He's decided not to do much about it. But then when he does decide to register, we discover this glaring vulnerability. The fact that this other show that hasn't even launched yet has started the process of filing a trademark registration. And so they, at least right now, have priority. So this means that my client's registration, when we filed it, was put on hold, sort of indefinitely, until this other show launches or abandons their application if they later decide not to launch or whatever. So it's not just a missed opportunity, it's actually a ruined opportunity. It's a wake-up call. This client of mine has the stress of what's going on. We've got a legal battle on our hands potentially. If this registration does proceed to register, we have to file a petition to cancel that registration, and that's fundamentally a lawsuit, all because he waited too long. So this opens up a big can of worms. Legal battles over trademarks can be really costly, and they drain your energy. They divert your focus from the things that are important, content creation and achieving your impact and having influence and so on. And they can impair your ability to make some money. So we end up focusing on legal strategy and the courtroom kinds of stuff instead. So, and gosh forbid, if you are forced to rebrand, well, that's not just changing the name, but that's part of your podcast soul. Not to mention the confusion that it can cause among listeners, the drop in listener numbers and engagement and all of that. So listen, if this has ever happened to you, if you know of someone who's had a branding or a trademark issue, or maybe you've had to rebrand, or maybe you've chosen a title that someone was already using, or maybe someone has chosen a title that was similar to yours. How did that impact your podcast? Share your stories in the comments and notes on the episode here. So, okay, let's flip the script now and talk about the upside of registering your trademark early. Now, it's not just about dodging these legal bullets. It's about laying down the law, laying a foundation for your podcast's identity. Now, a trademark is, it's a fortress around your brand, but it's also a beacon. It says to the world, hey, we're serious, we're protected, we're in business. Come and work with us, to sponsors and partners and all of those. It will also reassure listeners that they are tuning into the genuine article. And look, the grand chess game that is podcasting, this is a king move that gives you peace of mind and strategic advantage. Imagine your podcast growing, reaching more ears, more hearts. Your trademark title becomes synonymous with the quality of what you're putting out, the entertainment value, the information, the insights. That is what brand identity really is. And when you have a solid, legally protected identity for your brand, easier marketing is the proceeds of that. Sponsorships, magnets for opportunities, sponsorships, collaboration, even merchandise, all because you had the foresight to trademark the title. So how do you do it? Okay, well, I could walk you through a step-by-step process. And in fact, I do just that inside my Easy Legal for Podcasters program. It takes a little too long to do in a single podcast episode like this, but inside Easy Legal for Podcasters, I have a comprehensive module dedicated to trademark registration and actually in selecting a good brand for your show in the first place. It's designed for podcasters to demystify all the legal jargon, and it's a step-by-step how-to-do-it guide through each step of the process, part of the broader curriculum that I have there at Easy Legal for Podcasters. So it makes it, accessible and understandable. So if you're interested in that, check it out, easylegalforpodcasters.com. And if you are interested in knowing more just about this trademark stuff, you can also visit podcasttrademark.com to download my free guide for podcast trademark registration. And that'll tell you all about what the process involves and lay out some of the costs and things like that. So as we wrap up today's episode, I hope that this has given you a clearer understanding of the critical importance of trademarking your podcast title. Don't wait. The risks are real, and the benefits of taking action early are very real as well. And remember, if you're looking to go even deeper into the business and legal fundamentals essential for your podcast's growth and profit, check out my upcoming workshop. It's Business and Legal Fundamentals for Podcast Growth and Profit, and it's designed to arm you with all the knowledge and tools you need to navigate the podcast world with confidence. Secure your spot now by visiting event.podcastlaw.net. And thank you for joining me on today's episode of Legit Podcast Pro. As I said earlier, my goal is that I help over 10,000 podcasters to amplify their voice, achieve influence, make an impact, and earn income. So keep on tuning in every Thursday for more insights. And until next time, keep on podcasting legally, my friends.